All right. Hey, good evening, LinkedIn. Dave Wilson of the Ring of Hire Show. Hey, the show tonight is for high volume recruiters. So it's probably not going to be a great show for people that don't really recruit. But if you are into staffing and you're a high volume recruiter, social media, I'm really going to give you some of the best tips that you're ever going to hear tonight. And trust me. So I'll be right back after this. And we're alive. All right. Hey, tonight, like I always said, I always like to do a show on social media for the recruiting for high volume. And, to talk about social media and tell you something, if you're a high volume recruiter, that will work. If you're a company that's a staffing company that's listening, what will work for you? And I say it respectively because I've social media myself, it's been about 7 years. I developed that passion 7 years ago, and my son and I would go to Borders, and always go in there, Barnes and Nobles, I'm sorry, and I would just take my cell phone and the books and really study it and how to advance yourself within social media recruiting for high volume. How do you make it work? And a lot of people say, well, it doesn't work. It's expensive, and to that point, it is expensive. It's expensive if you hire a company. Let's face it, if you're hiring a company for social media to do the recruiting for you, or do your post and boost them and properly utilize it the way it should be, you're going to pay a lot, because not only are you paying for the service, but you're paying for to boost and properly get that out of there. And my answer to that always is you should be able to train someone within your organization. Listen, you have a bunch of recruiters, just teach them the proper way, and you won't have to pay for all that fees of a social media company. And nothing against those companies. I'm probably going to get some messages here saying, what am I saying? But I'm saying it respectively towards a smaller branch. Say you have 4, 5, 6 recruiters, and you're staffing for 10 to 14 companies, right? You put the proper way of social media and how to utilize it, not just posting it right and sharing in all the job boards. That does help. I am one of the managers on one of the admins for Lehigh Valley, and I get to see a lot of the posts. And if you put it over to a couple different ones, you're going to get some hits. I'm not going to deny that, but you're not getting anywhere else. You're not getting it out there. And you got to trust me when I say that. I know what I'm talking about, because like I said, I've learned, and in all those years, I've learned how to do it wrong. Trust me. I've done it wrong sometimes. And you're constantly learning. This isn't something that you're just going to pick up a book and say, oh, this is how you do it. It comes from experience. It comes from learning how you're making mistakes from it, and utilizing your funds, your budget, let's say, but treat that budget, if you're a high volume recruiter, as if it was your own money. If you go in with that concept of saying, okay, this is my money, they've given me $50 on an ad, what am I going to do with it? All right. Now, a lot of the marketing and staffing companies, and some of the companies, they just post it out there, and it's okay. They don't really understand. Some of them do. I'm not saying all of them, but some companies just utilize their social media page just for postings about them. And that's great too, because you can share your culture, you can do everything. But in between, If you're looking for employees, that's what you're want to engage in. Because if you're a job seeker and you're just going on to a company's page and, okay, 5 ways to do this, how to save money doing this, we celebrate this, that's all fine. Make them stand out, not just something sloppy, not just something that I don't know, it doesn't look right. And if you're representing that company, you really want to put something professional on there. So when I get asked, is, like you said, you get that $50, it's what you do with it. Listen, I look at some of the companies and I see, they're doing $1,000 of this, $1,000 of that, bonuses and all that, which is great again. But if you took $1,000, let me tell you something. If I was given $1,000 to post properly on Facebook, right? Just on Facebook, $1,000. How many people in logistics could I get? How many people could I fill a warehouse? I'm going to say probably somewhere you could fill about 50 employees for about $1,000. Now, if you're a company, you're probably shaking your head like, yeah, he's full of it. I'm not. It's because I know, and I'm again saying this directly, because I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. I know how to look at the insights of your ads. Everybody sits there and says, well, yeah, you look at them and, oh yeah, well, here. Listen, if you're a company, I'm going to give you an example that puts a logistics center out in the middle of a friggin' hayfield or cow field, right? And you got 30-mile radius of not many people. And if I go on there, I did this once for a company. I went on there, I put some ads. I wanted to do a pre-run. Filled everything out that I believed I would be successful. I ran that thing for a day, 2 days, a couple hits. I get nervous after 72 hours. If 72 hours, I'm not pulling in applicants and having them walking through that door, something's wrong. I'm doing something wrong. But when you see the insights of some of these companies that are stuck out in the middle of a field, I'll be like, nope, it's not going to work. They're like, what do you mean? Well, you're going to pay. You're going to pay for in all the job boards. You're going to seriously pay to get those candidates out there. Social media versus the job boards for logistics, you're wasting your money on the job boards. I am telling you, 1,000%, you are wasting your money in all the job boards. I better not say the names, all the job boards. If you put that money for logistics, staffing, and middle, you could do all that right there and put that money into there. You could back those ads off. Run a job board for maybe like $10 a day. Keep it going. You're not going to get much, but run it for $35 a day, right? Keep that going just to get some emails and get to see the content. But back to the point of that hayfield there, that cow field of a company. Wow. I would just say to them, I wouldn't take that account. You are not. Good luck. Good luck, because if you're not going to spend, you're not going to get your message out there, and I've seen it. I know where the range in the Lehigh Valley. I know the boundaries. I know all the companies, because you have to study it in social media. I know all of the staffing companies' top posts for the week, because you can go on your reports and find that out. If I wanted to find out from another staffing company, I'm going to put 5 companies, right? Look them up, type them in. Oh, okay. They don't utilize social media that much. You can see, they say they're using it, but they're not. But you can get creative because you can see what their top ads are. You're like, you know what? I'm going to try that ad like that because that's a great idea. But that's a good hint right there. That is one of the best things on social media, is to be able to follow another company. You want to follow that company to see what they're doing, right? What are they posting? How are they getting people in that door? What's working for them? These are the kind of things that it's not just about posting that ad. It's about what's behind the scenes. What are you doing to find that candidate? I take social media kind of like dating for finding candidates. And I know that sounds funny, but why dating, right? It's because you know what you want. You're looking for someone, right? You know their interests. You know what they really like, where they go, what they do, right? Kind of like dating, same thing. You know what area. You don't want to date somebody an hour away, right? Same thing. Dating, let's just say it that way. So it's the same thing. So when you're posting an ad, you're going to go after that type of person that you want to date. And if you don't get it, well, guess what? If you don't find that date, you're going to keep trying. You're going to keep trying. You're going to find something until it works, right? You're going to find something until it works. That's the best way, because you got to kind of think of that way as, who do you want? What's your objective? What do you want? What do you want these people to come into the branch? You want these people to just come on in? These are some of the secrets that you got to do, because when I look at some of the ads on the job boards, I've said it before, wow, if you're a manager of your branch or a regional director, right, and you want to see how your staffing companies are promoting your jobs, I'm sorry, I'm getting not a lot of negative messages on that one too, but I'm just being honest here. Take a look how some of the companies are representing you. Now, I go back and forth, staffing companies and the logistics centers. Take a look of how they're representing you to find new people. It goes both ways. Think about really showing a great image, right? A great image, not just, hey, we're hiring. Call today, start tomorrow, no background, drug screen, whatever, right? Wow. Seriously? Look at them. You'll see them on there. If you're a regional director, go on Facebook, right? And a lot of people don't even know Facebook has a job board. Don't tell anybody. Facebook has a job board. Free. It's free. So when you post, right? When you do your ads, let me jump back to that. When you do your ad, you're going to post it on Facebook job board also. So that ad is not only going to there, but it's going on that job board for free. Now, today I just looked and it was like, wow, from months and months ago, one of the ads was out there and I received an application. I was like, whoa. So it was still out there somehow because somebody responded to it. But my point there is, create that ad and show a little bit, do something interesting to it. And the grammar, listen, I am not the best on grammar. I'm not, I'm telling you, but I'm an expert now because I pay $138 a year for Grammarly. Yes. Put that in your recruiting office, Grammarly, pay for it for your team. It's so friggin' worth it. It will make you learn. You're going to learn because it sends you an email every week saying, hey, these are your words that you're making mistakes on. So I always look at that. Like, my biggest mistake was and an apostrophe, right? Tomorrow, whenever I spelled tomorrow, these were words that I had a hard time spelling, I guess. And it teaches you. So put it that way. So now you have that great image about your company that's hiring, right? Great wording, right? Not just, hey, come on down. Oh, we're looking for. Look at other people's ads. Look at the other candidates or other companies' ads, what they're doing for, say, for example, forklift drivers, right? A sharp picture, just a sharp picture of a forklift, right? And then put down on there why you would want to work for this company. The good things. You're always going to have negative. It's the truth. A lot of people don't want to post on social media because they don't want the negatives, right? And I'm going to get to that in a second. But find it, top wording, right? Put it on there where you're hiring, your rate. Keep your rate. You have to put that in there, your minimum maximum, and do not lie. Tell the truth. It's okay to maybe stretch it a little bit, but if you're hiring for a temp to perm job, right? Be honest about it. Temp to perm can go a lot of different ways. Temp to perm can be eventually, you might work for a company for up to 6 months, 8 months, then they're going to hire you, right? But that comes back on the recruiter, because if the recruiter told you, oh yeah, you work hard, you're going to get hired. But if you don't tell the truth and you say, well, we have some people that have been working there for 2 years and they're not hired, you're defeating the purpose. Be honest with that candidate. Say, listen, this job is a temp to hire, but sometimes it could take them a couple months. I just want you to know that. So going into this, you're not exaggerating about it. You're telling the truth. It's seasonal. Listen, this is a seasonal job. This is what you're going to make. And this is probably when you're going to work to. And if you're really smart, as that employee gets closer to the end of their assignment, right? They're getting closer to that, if it's long-term, or I'm sorry, for your logistics volume right there, temp to perm, and it's getting closer, pull them out and put them on another assignment. Because if you know they're not going to get hired, or I'm sorry, the peak is coming down, pull them out. Just saying 2 weeks, listen, you're going to be ending your assignment. It's going to be over. But let's get you set up for the next job. If you take that time, you might think it takes time. Some of the recruiters, and even myself, trust me, every single thing I'm saying here is from experience. And I've learned from some of the top recruiters. I don't know it all. I've learned from some of the top recruiters within branches that I could say, wow, they're amazing. There was some that just didn't do their jobs, but majority of them were just amazing. And if you teach them, show them how to do it properly, you're going to win. If you give them the right training, if you take the time, I know, listen, if you're a high volume recruiter, I know you're saying right now, I don't have time. Trust me, I know when those phones are ringing nonstop, right? I know when all those texts are coming in nonstop. I know when all those emails from candidates are coming in nonstop. I know when all those emails are coming from your branch manager saying, what the hell is going on? I know all the emails that are coming in from your VPs saying, what's going on, to the regional director and everybody. It just rolls down the hill. What's going on? And then you have people just coming in. You're trying to work on the computers, high volume, getting them hired, doing the IDs, phones ringing. Everything is just going crazy. So I've been there. I've done it. I know how it feels. It is. If you are not into a high volume, if you don't have it, you're going to lose. And you need to teach. If I would have known now what I know then, I would have been even better, because I would have delegated a lot of this out and really trained your recruiters. Give them the tools and they're going to succeed. Just like I said, if you can take all that stuff away, all that crazy, phone the texts and use them smartly, and teach them how to use a Texas platform. Teach them how to effectively use that text us. Teach them effectively how to use that constant contact. Teach them effectively how to use the social media, and then a process that's just going to run smooth. Because what I've learned is, and this is, I'm not joking, if you really want to put a lot of texts and get a lot of candidates, when you utilize that text us and you have, let me tell you, you have those job boards and you paid for all those phone numbers and cells and emails and all your social media prior, you can put that thing to nonstop. Oh yeah. And even when you're boosting the ads, which we're going to go over, this is going to be a longer show. So people, I know it's not as exciting, but you can really excel that when you boost those ads for your Texas. It's the truth, man. You want to see those phones just light up, give it a shot if you know what you're doing, but you got to look into it. Some of the job boards, when you're getting all their emails and cell phone numbers, guess what? You paid for them. Go back and get them. Wake it up. Wake those texts up. Get those people. Get them engaged, right? Wake those emails up. But do it effectively and know what you're doing, not just putting it out there and nothing happens. If you use all the tools together, it's a great tool to use. When you put them all together, it's really effective. You can set up a process of everything with the social media going down and really change your hiring process. Weed out some of the candidates that you don't want. I get it. A lot of recruiters, you need to fill the orders. Let's face it. Now, you're looking for 50 people. You better get like 125 to get the 50. It's no joke. I mean, because by the time you get so positive, you're like, wow, you get to email that client. We're going to find you 50, right? And then if it's on a Monday, you worked so hard, and then 15 of them didn't show, 10 didn't text you back, respond. People had emergencies. They can't start till the following week. The death in the family, which is not a joke, but some candidates have 10 of them in a week. And my point there is, you start weeding all them out, you're going to have the final count. So, but if you can effectively, by using social media and all your tools, weed all them out. Listen, I'd rather have 75 candidates that I worked hard to find come in that door versus 150, because you're just going to waste so much money on all that cost. And everybody knows what I'm talking about. Doing the drug test, doing the background checks. On top of it, you got phones ringing, receptionists coming back, people things. Then you got the clients calling, stuff's in trouble. Where'd they show? Then somebody gets hurt, and then one of your recruiters have to leave. So I've been there and done all that. Try to make it as smooth as possible for your team. Give them the tools and how to utilize social media properly, and it can really take away. Some people, when you do a job post, we'll tell you everything negative. They're always going to say, no, we tried that. Oh, we tried this. It didn't work. No, you didn't. Oh, corporate won't allow this. How did you know what I was going to ask about social media that corporate says no? Seriously? If you really want to utilize social media, really train, really learn the aspects. If the company's not going to teach you, right? There are so many ways out there that you don't have to spend a fortune. It's going to take you time. It's going to take you mistakes, but do it properly. I'm going to be showing you some stuff here to look at. And these are really good things that you can show some of your recruiters. And if you're not utilizing it as a company, and you want to pay a bigger company to do all that when you can just teach your recruiters, hey, go for it. It's not my P&L. It's yours. The P&L is going to show it all. I mean, your ads. And again, if you take $1,000, you give me $1,000 to find, you need 50 people. That's freaking done. You'll get 100, 125, but 50 people for $1,000. You think about it. You invest $1,000 and somebody's going to pull you in 50 candidates from social media and know what they're doing. Hey, that's your call. Yes or no. Weigh the scale. You want the candidates or you don't? You want somebody that represents you, knows what they're doing, or you don't? You're going to have people just constantly say, we can't find staff. Keep complaining, right? Just sit back. Well, we can't find them. That's all I hear all the time. Well, we can't find them. The candidates are there. There is a lot of people looking for work. All right. I know in logistics, now we're not going to go into those subjects, but in logistics, there is no reason why you can't fill 30 orders, 50 orders, 100 a week easy with a couple of companies, just a couple. High volume, you want to bring them in. You get a good team, 3 to 4 recruiters and knowing social media. You might as well, the social media, add 2 more. Just add 2 invisible people if you hire somebody that knows what they're doing in social media. 2. Just take one of a person like myself, right, that knows social media. And there's a lot of people that really do a great job. And put 2 ghost employees versus having 2 employees over here. I'm telling you, recruiters. It's not because I shouldn't say it like that. It's because you know how to utilize the tool to really take that stress off of everybody else. Because everybody's so stressed, even the client, even yourself. So I want to show you some stuff that I think you're going to really, as a recruiter, you're going to like. And I had told you before, 5 words before I start is, do you want to win? Right? Do you want to win? Do you care about let me say it like this. If I need people and I want to get my message out of a company, right? My job is to take the employees away from you, from that logistics center to my left to the logistics center to my right. The logistics center 5 miles down the road, 5 miles to the right. I'm going to do what it takes to take those employees away from you and bring them to us, right? Do you want to win? Think about that. I don't care. I don't care when people say, how did you pull those people in? Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter that they're working down the street. If you're looking for forklift drivers, you put a great ad out there and hire somebody what they know and what they do on social media. Some of these bigger companies, listen, you can do that. That's fine. You're going to spend a living budget right there. But if you really train somebody that knows what they're doing, you can find this baby. Especially, I know some good companies in Brenningsville that pay very well, and if that message was out there even further, man, there's nothing you can't do. You can find the people. You want to take them with your ad or a video, just like this. You want to take those candidates from away. If they're forklift drivers, right? I'm going to go after every freaking forklift driver and I'm going to pull them. If it's a good company and it's got good, good reviews, good culture, good everything like that, I'm going to take every single friggin' one I can find around there. I'm going to get my message in front of them all the time. During the football games, that's a big hint right there. I just told you. During the college football games, it's almost over. That's a big hint. Big sporting events, guess what? That's when, don't tell anybody, that's when you send everything out. That's a hint, one of the first hints, really, that's really good. Figure out when you want to send those ads out. That's the biggest thing. You don't want to pay for ads to go out at midnight unless you're looking for people that work night shift. Makes sense, right? I want to find people on night shift. When's a good time to run an ad? Guess what? run it because on social media, it shows you a graph. I'm going to show you that. It shows you a graph when your people are online. And if you really have the right software, like Hootsuite, listen, you got the right software to run all this. Hootsuite is fantastic. You can do 10 posts from all the different companies. And I'm going to show you that. So let's get more involved with what I want to show you and how I know it works. So the first thing that I want to show you is the insights. Now, this here, right? It takes a lot of time to learn, but it's not really that hard. So if you can't see it on the phone, it's okay. So my demographics and interests for logistics, trucks, job hunting, employment, application, let's see, employment website, warehouse interest, all that kind of stuff that's on here right now that you're going to put. Think about it. Just like dating, you want to know what you're doing here. Now look at this again. If you've never seen these slides, then you're not doing social media correctly. So if there's a company, a logistics center manager right now watching, or recruiter, check this out. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to find everybody from 1865 plus because, age, but detailed targeting, you're going to get this down to a T. You're going to find out over here your audience definition, and your ad, guess what? It's going to tell you your definition. It's going to tell you how it's doing. How would you like that? Hey, how's your job board doing? How's that ad on Indeed doing, and Career Builder and all those stuff? Well, we got 180 resumes, but half of them aren't qualified, or they're overqualified. They just click, click, click. You know what I'm saying? And they can do it on social media too. But if you're defining, when you put on the job boards like logistics, you got to be really what you're going after. Material handlers, forklift drivers are. A lot of people think, that's all a material handler does. Think of the key words. So when you go here and you're going after all these different interests, right here, all these different interests, man, I'll tell you what, there ain't nothing like this. You can put special ad categories, your audience definition, your estimated daily results. It's kind of like on your job boards. It'll, when you put that money on, you look over to the right and it says estimated, you're going to get, I don't know, some of the things a joke. You're going to get 80 to 125 and you're not even getting that. You're going to see the same thing on this, where that little green thing is up there is going to give you your estimate. And you can, if you do everything properly when you learn it, you can really learn a lot from the company that you're going to staff for. Like before you do this, man, I'll tell you what, do a 2-week trial run before you take on that account. That's another secret for a staffing company. Hire somebody just to look at this, because the insights are so much better than the job boards. I'm telling you, if you know what you're doing. The next one, now this is what I love. This is going to show you over to your right all your native ads. Yes, I said native ads. If you don't know what that is, 14 placements. This ad that I'm going to design right now is going to go to 14 different placements. Did you hear that? 14. Where does your job board get you? Think about that. And again, I'm not being wise like I'm talking about, but I know what I'm talking about here. I would not get on LinkedIn Live and do a show that I could not back up what I said. But I will tell you that before I took on it, let's just say if I was working for a company and I couldn't do it, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say, oh no, you're in trouble. Either you're going to spend money or you spend a lot on job boards or social media. I'm just going to say it like that because I don't know what I can do. You're either going to have to, I hate saying it, but you're either going to have to increase those wages for a good reason. A good reason to increase your wages is to get those candidates that you set up your logistics center in a cow field and you got to pull 25-mile radius. I mean, it's common sense. I'm not saying it wise again, but you're going to pay. So for me, if I was with a company that was trying to find candidates within like this, I'll come back here in a second. So when I'm really looking at my insights and my audience definition, I want to hit that radius so tight, 25 miles, let's just say, because you get to know on here how far you want them to drive. You're going to put 50 miles. Why would you put 50 miles on a radius? Somebody's got to try 50 miles for a logistics center. You're going to pay. So that's what I'm saying. But a lot of people don't realize if you hit the towns right around you, I always hear this excuse when on this part here for the interest. Oh, they won't drive that far. Okay. Have you checked the town right before? No, they don't. Nobody wants to work from there. Okay. I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? When people say no for social media, that's tonight. Wi-Fi must be weak. So if they say no, you say yes. Oh, we can't find people. Yes, we can. Oh no, they will. It's got to be the great Wi-Fi tonight that's happening. So let's go into, like I told you, about creating the ads. So when you're creating ads here with 14 different placements, this is a lot of information. You're not just putting a picture and posting it on Facebook. It's not going to happen. You might get the likes and everything, but you got to think of it this way. I don't want my wife to this Wi-Fi is terrible tonight. You don't want your friends liking the ads because it's going to cost you money. You're going after the specific person that you want. That's who you want to click on your ad. This is great. This is great tonight, the Wi-Fi. I'm going to try it a couple more times here. If it doesn't, I'll do a show later on tomorrow. But we're going to give it 2 more times if that keeps doing. Let me shut some Wi-Fi things off here just to see whether or not sometimes by, let's see, let's shut the Wi-Fi off here. I don't know. You never know if it works, but all right, we'll shut that. We'll see if that helps. One little thing. So when I get back to this here, after you've done your audience, this is the great part about technology. I am going to finish up tomorrow night on a lot of these other different ways to really it's the weather. So on that note, I will be back tomorrow with a lot more great information. So have a great night. There's no sense in me going back and forth and it's skipping here. And we'll talk tomorrow.